Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back, and this is episode 8 of season 3, man. We are moving along. We are getting shit popping over here, Miss Jones. How you feeling today?
I feel good.
This is Coffee with Jenni and Dre. This is my co-host, Ms. Jones, Jenni Jones over here. We got a little bit of coffee we're going to discuss right now. Let's get to it.
We got coffee. So Talisman Coffee Co.
Yep.
I went by there. I've got a few things to discuss. But this is great coffee. It's family ran. So the farm is in Nicaragua. The beans come to Austin. They roast locally in Austin.
Okay.
This is the La Finca blend. Try it. You tell me what you think. So
What's the notes on this joint?
He told me the notes change.
Oh.
So every quarter, basically, it will change slightly.
Is it like wine?
He said,
like when it's, when it sits this long, it's better. If it sits this long, it's that way.
Ooh, I like it. So he said right now it's really stone fruit forward, but he said it's been chocolatey and kind of acidic. Mm-hmm. But right now he's like, I feel like it's more stone fruit. But it's a husband wife that own it, and then the dad actually, if I didn't, I'm pretty sure this is what he said. The dad lives on the farm in Nicaragua, so the dad farms the beans, and then they get here and then they roast them.
So for sure. I like the blend. It's a good blend.
The back of it says, "We grow it, we roast it, you brew it." So, family ran. I love it.
Nice.
So, and then they have little sloths in there, which I thought were cute. So, on that, great coffee. I'm enjoying it. I really like it.
I do too.
When you walk in, we'll post pictures, but when you walk in, cute coffee shop to the right, but then you're hit with the smell of barbecue as well. So I was like, okay, hold on. So we're going to flip this. So we're going to do a coffee review as usual, but now we're official food influencers.
Talk it.
Starting right now. So I had to look it up and do some research. And funny, I was already following them, but it's called Mum Foods Smokehouse.
Okay.
When
Sounds
I tell
like
you, this barbecue was fire. And I know we have a lot of good barbecue in Texas, but y'all, I've never had a pastrami sandwich in my life.
Which is beef.
But they call it the OG pastrami sandwich. It's apparently that's what they're known for. It was falling apart. The most delicious sandwich I've had in a long time.
Nice.
Mum Foods, y'all. Go check them out.
Check that out as well.
But time out. I have something else to show you.
Oh my God, man.
I also got matzo ball soup.
Well, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't because it's a Jewish Mums is a Jewish family or Jewish ran. They do matzo ball soup. I've never had it. I watch Food Network all the time. You know this. So I wanted to try it. So in my opinion, the best matzo ball soup I've ever had because I have nothing to compare it to, but it was really good.
Yeah.
Matzo ball to me though, y'all calm down on this, but to me it was like grits in a ball. Like if you take grits and you mush them all together into a ball, and then it's like a brothy soup. So it's not a ton of flavor, but it's good.
Yeah. You got some for us? I don't want to try it right now.
Matzo ball soup is still in the car.
Oh, okay.
But this, I took a sliver of it and then I put it away and I said, I have got to share this. Y'all look at this cookie. This chocolate chip cookie, I'm a cookie connoisseur.
Is it better than Tiny Box?
So Tiny Box is, if you got a hold of this cookie straight out the oven.
Is it better than Tiny Box?
That's the difference. Tiny Box will give you a warm, freshly baked cookie. This isn't fresh.
Is it better than Tavel's Monster Cookie?
Don't throw him into this because he's family. Tavel's Monster Cookie is fire. It's totally different than what you're about to try. I had to put it back and I'm going to let you try it.
I don't want to try no damn cookie, man.
Just this little sliver because the rest is for me. It's crunchy on the outside, gooey on the inside. That cookie is delicious.
I'm a cookie guy. I think the cookie was good. It's not better than Tiny Box. It's not better than Tavel's Monster Cookie. But it's a good cookie.
That is a fantastic cookie.
Okay, you like to use those big words.
Tiny Box, again, Tiny Box is because it's warm.
Hey, Tiny Box ain't giving us no money, so we need to quit.
Neither.
So
none of these people are. But maybe I'm gonna start throwing in things like this. But anyway, so those are 2 shout outs.
Damn, that segment took forever. So this podcast, this episode is episode 8. We're gonna be talking about back to school stuff with kids and everything, and then we're going to really get in depth into like business stuff because me and her both own our own businesses. So we're going to get in talk a little bit deep about that a little bit. We won't hold y'all too long, but that's what this podcast is going to be about. So, we're going to start the first segment off about, the kids going back to school, parents getting some more free time, mainly moms getting a little bit more free time. If you're a stay-at-home mom, you get to be able to, do some more things, focusing on yourself a little bit more, and just the whole getting the routine back together.
And how do we feel about back to school? So I got an interesting text message from Ashley, our friend, and she was like, hey, Sosa. I was just like, hey, are the kids back to school? And I was like, yeah, they started back yesterday or whatever, kind of like with a sad face. And she was like, I don't remember, maybe. And then I wrote back, I wasn't ready for them to go back.
Yeah.
And you know what she said to me? And I was like, that is the nicest thing I've heard all day. She said, that means you're a good mom. And I was like, what? She goes, all my other friends are like, oh, thank God. Like, thank God. They're but we
gone
don't and out of my house.
We don't never we don't care. I mean, that's both of us. We're not like, oh, we're ready for our kids to go back to school.
I
ever.
feel like I've said probably that in the past. Like,
I've never said
when they were younger, like in their crazy, but no, like I was truly not ready for them to go back this time. Like I enjoyed the summer. We were busy. We had a lot going on, but like I just like them at home house. With me. And like we've talked about, like us being the main influencer in their lives and not their friends and not their teachers. Mostly because even already, like first day I pick up Blake, she already has this different tone to how she's talking. And it's just
being around her friends.
Being around her friends and, being cool. She's the oldest in the school now, type thing.
She's in the fifth grade hallway. So, you know what I'm saying? She's doing her thing. But how is that, because it's, back to school, how is it getting the kids to go to sleep on time? What does that whole strategy look like?
I feel like,
how is all that going?
Yeah, that's always a struggle. Yeah. Because they've been all summer long doing whatever the heck they want to do, staying up late, just having fun, doing whatever. So for us, what I try to do is like a week. Some people probably need longer. We really don't. Blakeland likes sleep. Corey does not. So it's more so getting Corey back on track. But kind of just like every night I was cutting it by 30 minutes, making them go to sleep, cutting it by 30 minutes. That way they would wake up earlier and then that way they would be ready. So cutting their times back on how late they can stay up. We're shooting for 9 would be ideal. Right now we're at like 9:30. But part of that is because Naomi's up too. So I have to get her to bed first so that everything's calm. And then we get the big girls to bed. But since, because I take them to school in the morning, you pick them up, I take them to school, and they haven't been grumpy. They haven't been like, oh, I'm tired or nothing in the car. They actually been cool. Because right now it's new and fresh and happy. They're excited. They like their teachers. They like they both have good friends back in their classrooms.
For sure.
So they're excited right now. Yeah. That excitement's going to wear off and then they're going to be grumps.
Quick break real quick. Not a break, but I just want to say this to all you teachers out there. Love what you're doing, man. Y'all keep up the good work. This is definitely a shout out to you teachers that are out there not getting paid what y'all need to get paid and just doing a great job of, taking care of, everyone's kids and getting them on that right path and all that. With that being said, this is Andre's take on homework. To all these cameras, this is Andre's take on homework. Only Andre's take.
It's not only Andre's take.
Don't send my kids home with any homework because I'm not going to have them do it. My position on that is this. Y'all have my kids in class for anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. I think school is something like that, 6 to 8 hours. So I think that all work should be able to get done in the classroom, in my opinion. If you send my kids home with work, this is just me. If you send my kids home work, when they come back the next day, the work won't be done because I just want to be able to, when they get off from school, to be able to spend that time with my kids. We go outside, we jump on the trampoline, we go mess with the horses, we feed them. They do all that type of stuff. So when they get home, I want all homework and all school stuff to be cut off. Just like when me and her get home, we both run our own business. We want to be able to cut off the business stuff and be able to focus on our family. Right. Love what y'all are doing and all that good stuff. But when my kids get to the crib, if they got homework, they're not going to do it because...
last year, I don't think they
I'm just saying,
ever
but sometimes,
had homework.
And they're 5th and 4th. So don't send them home with homework because they're not going to do it because you have them so long of the day.
Yeah,
I think that should be done in class.
Depends on the teacher. So I know the last school we were at in second and third grade, they were sending them home with homework, which I thought was wild. But this new school that we're at, they never had homework last year.
I'm just saying, and I get it. I understand it if they don't get the stuff done, but I think y'all have the kids.
There are teachers out there that are like bombarding with homework.
Don't send them home with homework because we're not going to do it. We want to do that family time.
Yeah, but I don't mind doing, like, if we're in the car and they're doing math facts, like, I don't mind doing stuff like that. Hey, let's do some math facts in the car.
Or if they're a little behind on something, helping them. Yeah, I'm not tripping on that.
But like just constant homework all the time when they've already been doing school for that long.
Because if you break it down, you have the kids, let's say 6-7 hours of the day. When they come home and they have to do homework, because our kids are in sports, so they come home sometimes at 4. They got to get a little snack. They go to gymnastics, and then after that, they come home, have to do homework. By the time they come home and I want to spend some time with them and do things like that, it's homework, dinner, bath, bed.
Yeah,
and I don't like that routine like that. So I would rather y'all not send them home homework. And if you do, they're not going to do it. That's just my little side piece on that. Go ahead. Let's talk about, I know you want to get into the whole debate about phones in school right now.
Yeah. I just found it very interesting. Again, shows our age, but we didn't have phones in school. Well, I guess I was in high school, like when cell phones started becoming like super popular, but I think I was like maybe a junior or senior. Mm-hmm. But again, it wasn't smartphones. It was just text messages coming through or phone calls. It wasn't distractions. Mm-hmm. So yesterday or day before, I have the news on every morning, and it was, such an ordeal. In Fredericksburg, Texas, they have banned, so they can have their phones. They can't have them out. They can't have them walking through the hallways and things like that. So it's a no phone policy, basically.
What about at lunch? Did they say anything about that?
They didn't say about lunch.
Okay.
And everyone's like freaking out, like, how am I going to get a hold of my kids? Or like the kids are like thinking this isn't okay.
Yeah.
And I'm over here going, what are y'all talking about? Like, why do they need their phones in front of them at school?
For sure.
And I know how difficult it is for schools to now put this policy in place because you are going to have parents who fight back or like whatever. But
these kids are recording unnecessary stuff in class. Like they're
distraction.
They're just being distracted.
So much distraction on that phone. And again, why is it needed? And when did we get to this point of kids can just do whatever they want in school? Like, I get it. We don't have this anymore, but like we had licks. If you didn't abide by the teacher's rules and you didn't do what you were supposed to do, you would literally go to the principal's office and he could whoop you. Do you remember this?
But it was 3 referrals before you got a lick.
Not in Salina, Texas. Like if any of those guys did anything, now rarely, I don't know of any time a girl ever got them.
I got licks before.
But guys, and then they would put holes through the dang paddle. Did y'all have that to catch the air? Yeah. And now it's gone from that strict to these kids can wear whatever they want to wear, say whatever they want to say, do whatever they want to do, and have their phones out 24/7.
For sure.
So I just found it so funny that's like first of importance on the news of this school district had decided to ban phones, which I personally think is awesome. And, they were like, how are the teachers going to get a hold of, or how are the moms or the parents going to get a hold of their kids? And I'm like,
you shouldn't be in school.
Why
anyway.
do we need to go get a hold of our kids while they're at school? Unless it's an emergency. Then again, back in the day when it was an emergency, your mom showed up to the school or your dad did, or they would call the school.
Facts.
So it's not like you can't get a hold of your kid or let them know that something happened.
Yeah.
So I think this is a big topic
Our kids
of discussion.
got phones. They take them to school, but they're younger, but they got to keep them in their bags. And the reason why we allow our kids to have phones at that young of age is definitely for emergency purposes. And if anything was to happen as far as like a school, shooting situation or anything like that, we want to be able to,
get a hold of
our kids. And if mine called me and say there's a active something going on in there, they already know what time it is. I'm pulling up, guns blazing, we're gonna make something happen. Okay. I mean, I'm not leaving I'm not following the protocol.
Let's not throw that out there.
I'm just saying, I don't follow the protocol on that.
There are
we're going to get that.
Major situations where it'd be ideal for your kid to have school. But again, those are hopefully never going to happen and far-fetched. But it's crazy how, yes, it's happened, but I don't want to put that out there. But just for their entertainment or for their, what are they like codependent on their phones now, basically, that it has to be sitting out on their desk.
That's how it goes now.
Yeah.
Smartphones. But this is with everybody. It's not even just with high school kids.
Yeah, it
everybody.
is. It's with everybody.
Yeah.
It's like, it is. It's with everybody.
Definitely. Let us know, if your kid's school has a policy on phones and like if it's a big ordeal.
Let's talk about dress code, because that's another thing.
I don't want to talk about dress code.
I do.
I don't even know the dress code.
There is no dress code, basically, depending on,
when Jayla had a dress code in high school, with the shorts can't be a certain length.
No.
Yeah, she did.
No. Jayla did get in trouble a couple times, but I see those kids leaving that high school and their bellies are out. I'm talking crop tops. They can wear a spaghetti strap. It seems to me like they can wear whatever they want to wear. And maybe it's because we're old school, if that's what you want to call it. But no, like you couldn't wear, your belly button couldn't show. You had to be 2 fingers or 3 fingers.
I'm a dude.
Something
I don't know
here.
what those,
it was either, I think it was 3 fingers.
Yeah.
It had to be wide. So you couldn't wear spaghetti strap shirts. You would get sent home. If you raised your hands up in the air and your belly showed, you had to change. And then if your shorts didn't go to your fingertips, you had to change. Some of that I think is extreme because like some girls are just super long or, some girls are super short. And so their shorts can be up here where other girls' shorts had to be way down here. So I don't agree with that, but I do agree with covering up your stomachs and things like that while you're at school. And same for the boys, I don't see them wearing anything too crazy, ever. But the girls, they're out there with very little on. We'll say that.
You happy you got your little dress code in?
I'm
with the dress code.
Gonna throw the dress code out there.
So we're gonna close that segment because that was really supposed to be a short segment about school stuff. Welcome back, kids. All y'all are back in school. Like again, thank you, teachers, for doing the things that y'all do. I got a bunch of teacher friends. Some of them are now principals. You know what I'm saying? We shout out to T, who is now the head principal. I don't want to shoot out her school like that because, we want to keep all that
doing
private.
Her thing.
And I got...
I call her for all the
couple of my...
Is this allowed?
A couple of my friends are male. I mean, a couple of my friends are teachers like Jamal's. Well, I don't know if Jamal is still teaching like that. I don't know if he's still teaching like that.
Okay, well, let's...
Yeah, I'm just saying. But I got a bunch of friends that are teachers. I was just trying to think of if he was still teaching or not.
All I can think about is when I'm looking at you is the comment, bro cut his beard off and he looks 20 years younger or whatever. Now that I'm looking at you again.
That's what you want to talk about right now?
You do look young.
All right, now that was segment 1, man. We're going to jump into segment 2 because I really want to talk about businesses.
Oh, yay.
And how that works and the dynamics of that and the failures, the ups and downs and all those type of things. And like I stated before, we both own our own businesses, but we both owned previous businesses before the ones we have now that were semi-successful, but eventually both of them didn't work out.
Right.
So you want me to talk about mine first? You want to talk about yours first?
You can go.
So I had my first business. It was called...
Are we talking about your first? But okay,
yeah,
let's go.
Yeah, it was a business. My first business was called Second Chance Entertainment. And it was with 2 of my boys, James and Carvel. And we started a company called Second Chance Entertainment. And what we would do, we would throw parties, pool parties. We would throw, we were like the first... promoters around type of thing because it was so long ago. It was like 2008, 9, 10 era. So we were doing, we didn't even know what promoters was at the time.
Right.
And we were just trying to do things.
And at that time, there was no social media.
Wasn't no social media, nothing like that. So, but we also would do comedy shows. So we would do we would bring down Shaquille O'Neal had a comedy. Yeah. He wasn't doing comedy, but he had Shaquille O'Neal comedy thing. And we would bring them down to Houston, Dallas, Austin, all those places like that. And we would put on comedy shows and we would do, all those different things like that. And the shit was rolling good. We thought it was great. We thought we was running a business, but we didn't even know nothing. We got an LLC. We wasn't doing the money situation right.
It was just
first time, and it was the first time doing. And it was something fun, and we didn't know that it really could like be a business, how these promoters and everything have it now. So it was just Second Chance Entertainment. We were running like that, man. And like I said, what we would do is comedy shows, and we would do clubs and parties and all those type of things.
I went to a few of those little pool parties.
We had more than just pool parties. We was doing and we threw the first party ever at the W in Austin.
I went to your New Year's party.
We did a New Year's party. We did a whole bunch of different parties, and we were running it. I mean, we didn't know what we were doing, but it taught me a lot of stuff when I was getting into my next one. And we did it. I did it with two of my friends, Carvel and James. And I mean, that business with friends wasn't nothing that was like, oh, it could end a friendship type of thing. Because it was, now that I look back and I'm running my business now, it's very minute compared to like what I got going on now.
That was a hobby almost.
It was a hobby. And like it was, you know, just with that, is the hardest part of that is like booking people, booking DJs, and you know, all those different type of things. Shout out to the DJs though, man. I gotta shout out my DJs, man. I got like 5 DJs that are from my era that are like on a whole nother level compared to these DJs these days now. So let me shout them boys out one time. Make this a segment for me, B, because I gotta shoot these boys out because they do a great job. This is no particular order, but
I know who you're starting
with.
But
I'm gonna say the only person that has an order is DJ Corrupt. He's number one to me in my book. He's the number one DJ ever in Austin, Texas.
He DJ'd our wedding.
He's just not local. He does way more stuff now because he's then grown. So Corrupt is number one for me. The best DJ in Austin, hands down, by far. Nobody fucking with him. DJ Corrupt is number one. And then the rest of these guys are in no particular order, but these are some of my favorites. Number 2, I don't want to say number 2, but the next DJ is DJ DK from Louisiana, man. He does his thing. Great DJ. He gets busy. The next DJ is going to be DJ XO. He's a Houston. He lives in Houston now. Just a local guy. He was really known for like, he does the club scene really heavy, but he was the first DJ that I met in the strip club that was doing like major work in the strip club. Granted, he's a family. I'm not saying he was in the strip club.
Major work?
Not major work. Like he was like dropping the best stuff. Like people would come to the strip club just to hear him do his thing. I bet that's why they were coming. No, straight up though. He was that dope. Now he's a family man. XO, man, he does a family man. All he want to do is barbecue and watch Dallas Cowboys lose. That's all he want to do.
Okay.
Another one is DJ Hella Yella.
Yes.
He's dope. He's still doing his thing. He's local as well. And the last one is, he was a DJ at HT, did like games and all that type of stuff. DJ Pretty Ricky. Those are my 5 DJs or 6 DJs, man. I want to give y'all a shout out. Y'all always kept everything rolling, man. And I just love what y'all were doing. And that was a part of my, what I started as my first company, which eventually dissolved and it's no more. Let's talk about your first one. It's not exciting as that one, but let's talk about your first one.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, so Flossing Direct was my first business, which stemmed from, I was a dental hygienist, and you were bouncing ideas off we were just going back and forth, and you were trying to implement something for the valet system. And I was like, hold on, that would work really well for dentistry. Yeah. And so basically I feel like you are very much a part of this, obviously. But we created an app for temp. It's basically a temp service, all through an app.
Yeah.
And so it's supposed to be basically hands-free. You could get on an app, you could go and you could find whoever you wanted. Their profiles would be there,
Yeah.
And it was, in my opinion, very successful.
It was.
I just ran across this is the biggest learning thing for me running your first business is knowing who to trust. People will take advantage of you. They'll sell you dreams, because what I had was really amazing and could have probably, if done correctly, the way I envisioned it and the way it should have been, which is, again, when you're developing apps and whatnot, making sure you're getting with the right developers, making sure they understand your vision, and making sure it's executed correctly. Now, are you going to have like some push and pull? Yes, because it's an app. And so there's going to be like things that aren't working correctly that you have to go back and fix. And then not just trusting anybody. And then what I would say, and I think you've learned this too, well, yours was fun, is even though I've done it again now with my new business, is I said then, never go into business with your friends.
Yeah.
And in fact, they say it all the time. Having business partners can be very sticky and very, very messy. With that business, things got a little bit weird off jump because you always have someone you feel like I'm doing all the work and you're not. Like I feel like that's what it always feels like.
Facts.
So just knowing who you're going into business with, making sure y'all have set boundaries on what you do, what I do, what we do as one. So open communication. But I was really sad that I wasn't sad. That business burned me out, to be really honest, because it was not that the app wasn't working correctly. And it was me doing everything. And it was one person show because anyone who I trusted to come in and help did nothing but just take. Yeah. So then I got to where I didn't trust anybody coming in to help. And so I was just trying to take it all on by myself. And then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, we all know the medical industry shut down. I mean, there was nothing left. I mean, you couldn't work for 2 years, basically, unless you were a nurse. Dental offices were shut down. I mean, you're working in people's mouths. And then when dental offices reopened, dental hygienists went from making, we'll say on average, $40 an hour to making damn near $90 an hour, which is amazing for dental hygienists. They work really hard, but it wasn't sustainable, to now run a temp agency where you already have to put juice on what they make for the dentist to be able to afford that anymore. Because a lot of offices were just going through insurance, right? Well, insurance will only pay X amount of dollars per clean. Well, if 90% of that X dollar is going to your hygienist, then now the dentist isn't making what he wants, right? So anyways, it got a little crazy after COVID, and I just decided that's not what I wanted to do. But then with COVID, all the cleaning stuff, that's where the cleaning company came into play. So,
that is not why the cleaning company came play for COVID.
Why? Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Why was
you mean the cleaning teeth?
No, like cleaning, cleaning in general.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Not cleaning teeth. I'd cleaned teeth. Now we clean.
So she had Floss and Direct. I had Second Chance Entertainment. Mine was for fun. Hers was definitely more because it was, more recent than mine was.
It was a successful business.
It was successful. Mine was just mainly for fun. I didn't really know what it could do or what it could be. I was just really trying to do something different, and that's all. Hers was definitely generating good money, income, and all that good stuff like that. And then we both of them dissolved. After that, you wasn't working, you weren't doing anything until, and then I started a valet company. So that's my business that I have now.
Well, you started a valet company years ago.
Yeah.
Prior to my company.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I started a valet company in 2015.
Yeah.
It's called Open Door Parking. I don't know if you heard of it or seen any commercials. So it's called Open Door Parking, man. And I started this company with, he wasn't a friend then. His name is Carlos Reyes. And he wasn't a friend then when we started it. So it was actually a great, situation because we wasn't friends.
He worked in the field.
And he worked
he knew.
You want me to tell the story? You want to tell my story, baby? Oh, so like I said, we wasn't friends at first. We were just acquaintances, knew each other type of deal. And he had tons of experience because he had done valet previous for, multiple companies around town. And so when we got together, it was really a good merge because it wasn't it wasn't anything personal.
Right.
It wasn't nothing personal that was tying us together. So when we decided to create this company, it worked out for the best in that situation. And we created Open Door Parking. And so we both wear different hats in the company. He deals mainly with the employees and all that type of stuff. So I think that definitely when you start a company and you do start it with somebody, roles have to be freaking, written down, or y'all need to discuss things because you always get into that pull and tug that, damn, I'm doing more work than this person, or am I not doing enough, or is she doing this much or he doing that much? So you have to get those roles down definitely before y'all get to like a stage where you're like, damn, y'all arguing about, different stuff like that. And me and him had that at the beginning. Where I felt like I was doing more. He might have felt like he was doing more.
It's like, go back to relationships, on the stages of a relationship. I think there's a power struggle
for sure
in business, and everyone thinks they know how to run it correctly, or I'm doing it right, you're doing it wrong. So there's a balance and a power struggle when you first start. And if you don't both kind of give one way or the other, then it makes it very difficult. But y'all used to butt
heads a lot, ram heads a lot, but then we understood the assignment. We understood his strong points. We understood my strong points. And now we're flowing. Like I said, it started in 2015. It's now 2000 we're at 24. So we've been rolling for 9, almost going on 10 years together doing this thing, man. We started off with just me, him, and his brother at one location, man. Shout out to Juniper for being our first location ever
And Juniper's still around.
Juniper's still around. They gave us our first chance, man, of doing this valet thing, man. And then shortly after that, it was the Emma & Rye group, Emma & Rye Hospitality. So we had Emma & Rye next, and then all their restaurants. We're currently at 15 locations. We are the biggest valet company in Austin. I mean, we have the most locations in Austin. And so we're doing our thing, man. We got 30 plus employees, man. And but it's still a constant struggle, man. It's still like things that you didn't know in the beginning, like taxes, man, and just like make sure you get a good CPA, make sure that you're filing the correct taxes, make sure you need to be, if you're supposed to be an LLC or an S Corp, like it's so many different things that people don't understand in business. So I always think that like getting it started is easy, but like maintaining that, making sure things are done the right way.
Okay, well, let me pause on that. I think that some people think getting it started is the hardest thing because people are so scared to make that jump. And that's what I've always said about you. You always pushed me, like watching you makes me not scared to run a business.
Yeah.
My granddad, I think through his whole life had like 26 different businesses. He never worked for anybody. He always would start his own business and run it and sell them and do different things. And he kind of dabbled in everything. So I was able to see what it was like for someone to run a business. But you were the one that like made me jump. And now I'm not scared at all. But a lot of people, they don't want to give up the medical insurance.
For sure.
And, there's the 401k that you're
9 to 5, the stuff that that's always going to be there.
Yeah, it's consistent. And so people are scared to do that. And so if there's anyone out there kind of like swaying, I would say make that jump, because working for yourself, yes, the difference is it's not 9 to 5, it's 24/7.
Exactly.
So it is different in that sense, but you have the freedom you have a lot more freedom to do what you want to do, but also to make the decisions for yourself and what you want, and not have to walk in and do what so-and-so is telling you to do.
For sure.
But, or dealing with someone because they're mad at whatever for the day, and then they're taking it out on you. You don't have that, but there's definitely, we're going to talk about like the issues that you do face, like running.
No, well, when you the stuff that you face when you're running a business is it's nonstop. Like it's just nonstop, and then you wear so many hats, especially in the beginning. You wear way more hats because you're the bookkeeper, you're the payroll, you got to talk to this, you got to do that, you got to get the employees, you got to do the hiring.
Or like you would send them to me like, oh, talk to my assistant or whatever, and I'd be like,
it's just a lot.
I'm the assistant.
A lot of stuff that you got to do, and being 10 years in the game now, me and Carlos have definitely, like, I feel like we've mastered the day-to-day.
Yeah.
We definitely mastered the day-to-day, and we definitely know, I mean, it's 10 years. We definitely know whose role is what, whose strength is what,
right.
Because so I'm the closer and he's in the field, meaning not like in the field, like working. He's just operations. He's all operations. Right. I'm more like like I said, the closer. New restaurant comes aboard. Somebody wants to, take, the bid, or anybody wants to do, like, I deal with like ownership. I deal with like the city. I deal with like the permits. I deal with like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Recs, if anything like that happened, disgruntled guests, I deal with all that. He deals with like employees, equipment, stuff like that, just all that type of stuff.
Which I think is funny because so I have to deal with employees or contract workers on a regular daily basis.
Yeah.
And so when you don't have to deal with them so much, you think, oh, but I do all this and he does that. But then when y'all had to like if he goes out of town and you have to deal with the employees.
He went to Mexico City for like a week, and I had to deal with the dudes, all the employees, which I don't ever deal with. I tell them don't ever text my phone unless it's about payroll. That's all they can text my phone about. Yo, these dudes
always something.
These dudes were like it's when you own your own business, man, like you don't understand like how much personal problems people have.
Oh man.
And like I deal in the valet game. So my demographics is from 18 years old to like 22. So I'm dealing with a lot of young adults becoming men. And so their mental is not as advanced as like if I had a bunch of 30-year-olds that just know I got to get up in the morning, I got to get to work, I got to do this, they're just all over the place sometimes. And they seem to have a lot of problems. And when Carlos left for that time and had to deal with employees, I was like, shit, bro, you need to get back.
And it's like what wild problems that you just sit back and you're like, what is happening? Because so with my cleaning company.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's start from the, how that came about. Let's talk about your cleaning company.
Okay. So with the cleaning company, I'm in business with one of my best friends. So that made me very nervous.
What's the name of that cleaning company?
Made Peachy Clean.
Whoop.
What up?
What do y'all do though? Like all the stuff
So we do commercial cleaning, basically, mostly. So we do a lot of restaurants downtown, and then we also do luxury Airbnbs.
Nice.
We do few residentials, but we're very picky on the residentials that we do. This was a learning curve for us. Initially, we were like residential because the abundance of houses you can clean is insane, right?
So picky with people in houses though.
People are so picky in their houses.
Yeah.
You can walk into the most disgusting house you've ever seen. You can get it spot clean, and then they'll come back and say, oh, well, my toilet paper was on wrong. And you're like, did you see your house before we walked in?
Yeah.
And now you want to nitpick a toilet paper roll. Mm-hmm. So I quickly was like, not dealing with that. So we got out. Again, we got on with some really awesome, great restaurants downtown.
Wait. What? You got on what? We do the restaurant thing together. we piggyback on the things.
We do. It's awesome. So now it's fun because I do a lot of the restaurants that he's at. We clean it, and so now we know like mutual people through the restaurant. So I think that's fun, and it ties us together in a sense. But we also are like, wait a second, if you mess up, is that gonna mess up me? Or if I mess up, is that gonna mess up you?
We keep all that separate.
We're like, let's not play with the money though. Yeah. So we try to keep it as separate as we can, but they all know we're husband and wife, you know, and it is what it is. But it also pushes me to make sure we don't ever mess up, because it's like we have both companies invested into this restaurant or whatever.
For sure.
And then with the luxury Airbnbs, it's awesome. We've got beautiful Airbnbs that we do all around the lake in Austin and stuff like that. So it's been really great and awesome. And me and Jess have been smooth on things, except we butted heads like once or twice, right? Where we had to sit down and be like, okay, wait. Why are you feeling like this? Let's talk about it.
Is that how you and Jess do stuff? Y'all say, hey, why are you feeling this way? This is why I'm feeling that way?
It was like a sensitive, emotional conversation.
Me and Carlos cuss at each other.
Yeah, no,
like, we be like, literally, like me and Carlos got into it so bad one time.
I thought you were going to beat him up. I was like, here we go.
We got into so bad one time. I was like, yeah, I'm finna pull up. Like I left from we live like 40 minutes from out of town, in town. So I drove down, pulled up to his apartment, dog, and I was really about to beat this dude up. And that's Carlos one of my best dogs now. But like
absolutely not. That's not how girls handle things.
Like I was about to.
I've told you about this. You can't just beat up people as a grown ass man. You know this, right?
Yeah. I don't know where that. I mean, don't think that's correct. But yeah, that's what you're saying.
No, every time someone makes you mad, you're like, I can beat you up. Like, you can't do that anymore.
But I think sometimes beating people up is sustainable.
When's the last time you beat somebody up?
They typically, most people already know I can fight.
I know. So I'm just saying, like, I try real hard with him, guys, for him to not threaten
people know I can fight. So
people
typically
up.
it never gets to that point because they have already.
Right. We should work on that.
Yeah,
though.
but the last person I've had an altercation with.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah,
we're good. We won't discuss it.
It wasn't a good ending for them.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, no, me and Jess had a very
heart to heart.
It was a very mature conversation.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I get it.
But again, it goes to show in business, if we don't have that, same in a relationship, you're not going to grow.
Yeah.
So like I have so much love for Jess outside of this business that I would always protect our friendship first. So
that's huge.
Yeah. So I feel like even if there was something bothering me, I might vent it to you, but it's not big enough for me to even like, it's minute, right?
Do you think that, I feel like, I don't know if I've seen it anywhere. I think, you know how we had that 5 steps in relationships, honeymoon stage, this stage, that stage.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a 5-step situation when running a business with a friend or just with a partner or anything. Like, what's that first stage y'all go through? Like excitement, happy that y'all about to start a business together.
Which would be lust.
And then you have like the second stage of like, okay, roles, who's doing what, blah,
power
blah, struggle. And then you have like a third, like I wonder what those are as far as like, we might need to create something like that. I think that'd be dope if we had like a list.
It's very true.
Because I think me and Carlos will be probably since we've been rolling for 10 years, not saying that all 10 years are going to be smooth, but I think we're definitely at that. What was the 5th one?
I don't know. We're there though.
But I definitely know that me and Carlos is definitely
in it.
In that thing.
Yeah.
So
your risk of divorce is low.
Yeah, our risk of divorce, you know what I'm saying, is not happening right now.
No, y'all work really well together
For
now.
sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think anyone out there like on the edge or on the fence, I say jump. I always tell, even with our kids, we always tell them, hey, listen, school is school, but we like the whole own your own business or go to trade school, things that are going to be an asset. And our sons work for, Gerard works for me. Yeah.
And our daughter, Jayla, works for you.
Yep.
So we're in that process of what Gerard started from the bottom. He ain't going.
So did Jayla.
I'm just saying he started from the bottom. He's not even ready to be. He could be a great manager, supervisor type of deal, but he's not ready yet because he still wants to, you know what I'm saying? He still wants to do his
he watches
thing.
this. Don't
he
side.
He still wants to go out, have fun, which is cool because he's only 22. And so I understand all that because I probably wasn't ready to take on a business at that age, but it's basically his. Whenever he gets ready, he can have it. You know what I'm saying? Just give me my cut. But once he get ready, he can really have it. If he sat me down and was like, yo, I think I'm ready, then I'll get him to the next level of teaching him this, get him to the next level of teaching him that before he's ready to roll. But he's probably one of my, definitely in my top 3 best employees, not number 1, but he's in my top 3 best employees.
He can't get off his phone.
He doesn't be on the phone like that no
he
more.
Doesn't?
Nah.
Okay.
It's just, he just has little mishaps. He really has a bad attitude.
He does have a bad attitude.
He gets that from his mom for sure.
Really?
Yoli has a horrible attitude.
Y'all both have horrible attitudes. Don't just throw Yoli.
You got a horrible attitude.
You have a horrible attitude.
No.
Don't get on Yoli.
She has an attitude. It's totally different things.
Okay, so then y'all mixed, and now you got a son with an attitude and a temper.
He has a horrible attitude like his mama, basically what I'm saying. And
but he's prettier than both of y'all.
Yeah, so he has a bad attitude. Not a bad attitude, but he's just really, well, damn, he is short-tempered.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's me. But I'm saying he works for us, Jayla works for you, and we just really want to leave something for them.
Good news about Jayla is she's already a manager.
Yeah.
She's younger, she's 20, but she's so mature as far as for most 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
And she was ready for that role. Now she's nervous because she knows everything's going to fall on her shoulders right now. If something messes up, she's the one looking out. She's the one training. She's the one looking over. She's the one, doing the rounds on these Airbnbs and the rounds on the restaurants. So if I told her we could have 360 days of everything is wonderful. They can't complain about one thing. They walk in one time and see something. That's the only time they're going to contact me.
Yeah.
They're not going to call all the other times and say, wow, y'all are doing an amazing job.
Like that, like I tell you,
they're going to call you on that one moment where you slipped.
For sure.
And that one moment's going to stick in their head. So unfortunately, she's a little bit nervous right now about all the weight of it.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a good lessons for her, and she's going to learn and grow a lot.
And that's one thing me and Carlos always talk about with dealing with, these different establishments we do. Like, we can go 6 months, no complaints, you know what I'm saying? We get Yelp reviews, all that good stuff like that. One time, one person leaves a Yelp review, they sending me a text message like, what happened right here? But y'all didn't say nothing with the other 20 reviews we just got that everybody's saying we're doing a great job, how they love the service, all this type of stuff. But that one thing, and that comes with business, man. Nobody ever wants to pat you on the back and say you're doing a great job. But if you do a mistake, they want to. But that just comes with the territory. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, but also with Yelp reviews and things like that, it kind of ticks me off because people don't, like you just said, people don't want to write how good you were.
Yeah.
They only want to bitch about how bad you were.
For sure.
And that's what's so frustrating. Like, for every one bad Yelp review, I guarantee you there were 300 good ones. They just didn't leave the review.
Exactly.
And
had
so,
a good experience and everything.
Yeah. And so that's what's frustrating, is the only time I feel like people want to leave that review is when they're ticked off about something.
For sure.
And that's why I don't really love Yelp sometimes, because I feel like it's not real accurate.
Yeah.
Yes. Or you have to say, hey, if you enjoyed your experience, or someone was like, man, you did a really good job, you have to then say, leave me a review.
Yeah, leave me a review or something.
Because they're not going to.
For sure.
Otherwise.
Yeah. So this is our business segment about owning a business, all that good stuff like that, man. I know we didn't touch on a lot of stuff, but that's just like our background and everything. What I can say is definitely owning a business is hard. I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit, say, oh man, this shit was the easiest thing in the world, man, because it's not. Like, I'm even being 10 years in the game and becoming one of the best and biggest in Austin, it's still an everyday struggle sometimes dealing with things. But what I can say is definitely when you starting this stuff, get you a good CPA. Get you a good tax person to make sure all your stuff is lined up. Make sure you're getting the best situation for your company. Make sure you're writing things off. Like, all those good things, because there's so many tax breaks that you can get that when you're starting and you don't know. So it's better to always ask somebody what's going on. Definitely, another advice I would say is, whatever business you decide to do, hire people that are smarter than you, because it just makes things way easier. Hire some people that are smarter than you, that are experts in these fields, that are experts in the things that you're trying to do, to make shit easier. Why not just pay it up front so it can be easier for you in the future? So, like I said, man, owning businesses, definitely not hard, but it does. One thing that I can say, and you can contest to, is that when you own your own business, you have so much free time to spend with your family, spend with your kids. I mean, you're working and busy,
that's how
but
we're here right now.
But you still have a lot of time to be able to do that. Like, even though we run our own businesses and we have employees, if one of our kids got sick right now, we can go to the school right now, pick them up. Like, if anything was to happen, we could drop everything at the drop of a dime and make sure it goes happen and make it happen. So, if you're on that fence of not knowing what to do, not knowing if you want to start your company, man, not knowing if you want to do those type of things, do it, man. I told her, jump out the window. Like, what's the worst thing that happen? It can fail. Okay, cool. Shit fails all the time, but you can always say, I tried it.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be able to say you tried it. Like, dream with your eyes open, not with them closed.
And if you fail, learn from it and try again.
Yeah.
That's what I would say, because
man.
We've both failed and we've tried again, and we're, like I said, doing better now than than before. So
facts.
Even though it feels like a massive failure, there's a reason and a rhyme and a reason to why things work this way.
Facts.
So just keep going, keep
pushing.
And
with that being said, let's jump into this commercial break that is brought to you by Open Door Parking. My company, me and Carlos' company. It's definitely the best valet company in Austin. We are proven, and man, we do private events, we do garages, hotels, we do the best restaurants in Austin. Just Google the best restaurants in Austin. Go try out the food. The food's going to be amazing. The valet service is going to be exceptional, and you're just going to have a good time, man. all around type of service with this group, man. Open Door Parking, the best parking company in town. Do 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 do. All right, let's close this thing out. Let's talk about that coffee one more time.
Whoop whoop. I don't know. Talisman.
Okay.
Coffee Co.
Talisman Coffee Co.
Delicious.
Mom's
Love
Barbecue.
It. We grow it, we roast it, you brew it. Delicious. Mom's Smokehouse.
Smokehouse. Mom's Smokehouse.
Foods Smokehouse.
Okay.
Y'all go check them out because whoo-hoo.
Fire?
Yes.
I'm going to go try it.
Oh, no, we are
though.
going to go try it together again.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
For sure. And like I said, this is episode 8. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram, Apple Music, Spotify, all those good places where you can get all that. Even our website, man. You can do all that. If any of our listeners have like a coffee, a local one that we haven't featured yet, shoot us that information. We'll definitely go pick up a bag. We'll definitely try it out. We'll definitely give you a shout out for the person who told us and recommended it. Do all that good stuff. If you got anything that you want us to try, if you want any, help with some sponsorships, any of that good shit like that, man, definitely hit us on any one of our channels, any one of those things like that. And this is Coffee with Jenni and Dre. I'm Dre.
Thank you guys. I'm Jenni.
Peace.